Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com and I'm here to bring you another live paper crafting class here on YouTube. It is Wednesday, July 21st at 11 a.m. Central Time as I'm broadcasting to you live. A big welcome to all of you who are new to my channel. I hope that you enjoy what I have to share, and thank you to those of you who keep coming back. It's wonderful, and I feel like I have my friends with me every time, so thank you. A big thank you also to Miss Trisha Joseph. She is my moderator. She is the one who is there to answer questions for us, guide you in the right direction, and that sort of thing. So if you want to have her see a question that you are dying to have answered right away, then you'll want to put the @ sign and then start typing her name. So the @ sign, the A with a circle around it, and then start typing TRICIA, and her name will pop up, and then you'll be able to just click on her and it will tag her. She'll see it. Okay, so what do we want to share today? We're going to share some easy peasy cards, really easy ones, but still wow type of cards that I hope that all of you will enjoy, from beginners to advanced stampers. This particular card I have shared before, and you may have seen it by other demonstrators as well, other crafters out there. We have this wonderful paper at Stampin' Up! It's double-sided. Most of our papers are double-sided. It's very rare when we have a designer paper pack that's only one-sided. And the struggle with a double-sided designer pack of paper is that there's two sides, and it's hard to just choose. So this type of card actually allows you to show off both sides. Now, you want to make sure that you're using designer paper that coordinates. Like sometimes we have designer paper sheets where the back side just doesn't go well with the front side or whatever. So you want to look at that too. Keep that in mind, because this is all going to be on one card. I'm going to show you some new products. I'm going to do that next. And these new products are going to debut in less than 2 weeks, 13 days I think it is from now. On August 3rd, we're going to have a new mini catalog go live. And then we're also going to have the kickoff of our second celebration period. Celebration is a wonderful promotional time that Stampin' Up! Usually just does once a year. But this year they've changed it up. They're having a twice-a-year celebration, and I hope it continues. I'm thinking it will. At least they've given us the impression that it will. So yay. So what celebration? It is a time where you can purchase $50 worth of product and get a free pick from a certain catalog. Now I can't show you the insides of the catalog yet, but I will show you the covers. If you do not have a demonstrator, or you're not a demonstrator yourself, then you can request a catalog. You go to stampyourartout.com, you click on Catalogs tab, and then you can go down and there's a request form that you can fill out. So on that note, let's go first to the comments from last week. It's so good to see you guys' comments come up. This is so fun. I love it. There, I've loaded them onto my iPad now. I can see them as they come up right in front of my eyes. Okay, so I'm going to switch to my computer here, and we're going to bring up the comments from last week. Last week we had lots of them, but I only picked a few this time because I wanted to get through them quickly. Again, welcome to those of you who are first timers, like Judy, and who else mentioned that they were first timers? Oh gosh, I think it was Amy. Amy, watching Never Miss. Oh no, Amy's the one who comes all the time. So thank you, Amy, for those of you that stick with me a lot. And then Renee, also a first timer. I love to see where you're from, so it's always fun to see that. In fact, Tracy Harrell is from, gosh, just blocks away from me. So if you're live with me again, Tracy, hello, come on over sometime, visit. And then let's see, we had some questions. Deborah Holt mentioned, let's see, if the window, once the ink dries on the window sheets. Now again, I'm referring to last week's video, so you can go to my collection of videos and click on the last week video where I talked about alcohol ink art. And so Tracy's question was, does the color rub off after it's dry? It should not. It's kind of like Sharpie marker. It's an alcohol-based ink, so once it's dry, the only way to remove it would be like with a solvent or an alcohol type based product. So if you drip on it, it should not rub off, you know, even with your finger or whatever. And let's see, Sandpiper South, does the leaf, the gold leafing or the gilded leafing, come off after it completely dries? It should not also, because what happens is when the puddles of the alcohol ink dry really close together, it's kind of a sticky little area there, like the ink stays sticky. So if something remains sticky even after it's completely dry, that's a good place to put gilded leafing. So adhesives, tape, dimensionals, we have this stuff called heat and stick powder. So you can stamp with it and then put this heat and stick powder on, stamp your image with Versamark, put heat and stick powder on, and then once it's heated, it heats up as a sticky surface. So that's perfect for gilded leafing also. Someone mentioned in the comments using an embossing pen. Yes, Stampin' Up! Does not sell them, but you can get those. We used to have Versamark pens. So you write, you draw what you want to say, then you put the heat and stick on it and heat that up, and you can make your own little shapes and designs. I like to use the multi-purpose liquid glue for that myself. And let's see. Oh, a couple of you taught me something about Yupo paper. I did not know that it's plastic paper. That's so cool. And thank you, Sandpiper South. And so when you post in your live comments, like you're doing now with me, this is so fun. I actually do go back and read them. So Trisha didn't need to pass along that message because I saw it from you directly. Thank you. And I love your kind comments. At the end there, Kathy has a comment about medicine droppers. I do not have any in my medicine cabinet for some reason. I'm sure I could find one, but if you wanted to send one my way, I will send you a card. Thank you so much, Kathy. All right, I appreciate it. Because my other one that I had last week, it was a plasticky one. It broke. So I have to dig in my stash again. All right, what's next? We want to look at the catalog. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull this up first so I'm ready for it. Measurements and all that. So let's look at the desktop for just a second. These are the new publications that will debut in 13 days. Fun, fun, fun. So again, I can't go inside of them yet. That is against the rules, but lots of fun goodies. Let me bring to your attention. I mean, look how thick that is, right? So there's lots of things to choose from in there. It's not just a one-page flyer. So let's see, let's bring in Penguin Place first. So Penguin Place is a stamp set. As you can see, it has 28 images in it. It's one of those builder stamp sets. You can see there's a couple penguins on here. You can see there's a couple beaks on here. One's in the front, one's sideways. There's hearts. There's like a little, I don't know, you could call that a button, or you could call it, you could make your penguin have a clown nose. What else? Oh, you know what, because I get it, Rudolph. Yes, you could make your penguin turn into Rudolph with a red nose. I was right. There's stars, there's feet, there's all kinds of things in here to help build your penguins up and make them fun and decorative. And then you've got these sentiments too, these little sayings. This one's really fun. I like you a lot'll. And then you go up to here. It's like a little except a lot. That's very clever. And then this is the punch. This is the punch that goes with it. So you can either punch in like a black cardstock for this section, and then you can punch in a white cardstock for this section, add your own eyes and decorate your face and stuff, punch out some feet, or you can take and stamp this image here and punch the whole thing out, and then you've already got your white and black layered piece ready to continue decorating. Or, and I've already punched out all the ones that I had on hand, there's the designer paper. There's designer paper, yes, and there's a bunch of these little guys. And so I took all the ones that were whole already, excuse me, for an event that we have coming up, and punched them all out. This little guy is not whole, but I could punch him out and put him on a card, on the side of a card, in fact. So he's still usable, which is why I didn't throw him away. So let's look at the paper. Let's look at that designer paper. So again, you saw one sheet, sort of, right? This is the one sheet, and there's the back side. So you can see the colors coordinate. That's why this pack is perfect for this kind of card. This is the other 5. These are the other 5 sheets. Fun little winter scene images on all the sheets. So they look like just a bunch of little playful characters building snowmen, sliding around. They've got birds, bunnies, foxes. Yes, I saw someone's comment beforehand. Foxes are really popular nowadays. And then they've got, of course, scarves on and hats and mittens, and they're so cute. Blue backgrounds, purple backgrounds, the fresh freesia color. Such a lovely purple. And then we've got them sledding. Now, if we look at the back sides, you can see already, like there's purple on the back and on the front. On this one, there is stripes of the colors that are showing on the front. Then we've got this navy, well, it's not navy, Misty Moonlight, I think it is, color. And we've got the green color. We do have little bits of that here. Well, we don't really have a ton of it, but it's still got some green on there that's coordinating. And then we've got polka dots, little dots. They look like little snowball dots. So the colors that coordinate in this pack of Penguin Playmates Designer Paper are basic black, balmy blue, calypso coral, fresh freesia, just jade, misty moonlight, yeah, I was right, and soft sea foam. This pack you cannot buy though. It is earned for free. So how do you get it? You get it with and I'm going to move over to my supplies here. You get it with a $50 order. So if you're going to hold off and placing your order till August 3rd, just know that a $50 order can earn you that really fun pack of paper that we're going to play around with. It's the star of the show today. Here's the list of supplies that you would need in order to make, all the cards that I'm sharing today. All the supplies are listed there. Now, if you just want to make one of them, you can pick and choose. You don't have to choose, you don't have to have all those things. If you're a beginning crafter, this card again is super easy. If you're an advanced crafter, it's a card that allows you to mass produce. Like if you're making Christmas cards or if you're making a bunch of birthday cards, because you saw there was a birthday sentiment in that stamp set. It's kind of like a whole winter. It's perfect for winter. It's not just Christmas, right? So those of you that may not even celebrate Christmas, you've got winter images. And what else do I want to say? You can see the measurements are up there. The measurements are both in imperial, which is inches, and in metric. So all over the world, we can make these cards. And the measurements are super simple, as you can see. So let's go to the desktop. And we're going to create. So let us bring in the trimmer. We'll start with the trimmer. So the trimmer is one of the best tools out there as far as trimmers go. I highly recommend the Stampin' Up! Trimmer. It's got a long arm on it that you can extend out so you can measure up to a 17¼ inch size paper if you wanted to. And we won't need that whole piece out there, don't think. Let's bring in some black cardstock. We're going to have a little bit of it's going to get kind of, we're going to change the lighting a bit. The black and white always kind of make the lighting really stark, but it's my favorite base colors. If you're a beginning crafter, invest in black and in white. Okay, you won't regret it. So we're going to cut our cardstock, but first, because I'm going to make 2 cards from one piece of cardstock, I want to score through both of them at the same time. Our card is going to open up this way, like that, so we can make 1 and 2. So we're going to bring this 8½ sheet to the halfway point at 4¼ inches, which is right here. And make sure that the edge of your cardstock is flush to the top, or if you're somebody who likes to pull your blade, you've also got this part down here to pull against because there's a ridge down here. I'm a pusher. That sounds bad. I'm a pusher when I cut. So I'm going to go ahead and move my scoring blade out of the way. And my scoring blade is what I'm going to score. Sorry. We're going to score first. Phew. And then we're going to rotate it. And we're going to go halfway. Between 11 inches is 5½. So that brings you to this mark here. And this is where we're going to cut. So we're going to slice here. Now we've got 2 card bases. Now these are really full card bases. And I'm going to keep one of them that way for just a minute because I want to show you something. But here you have, and the score line creases it so nicely, here you have your card, right? We want to make our card base, though, 5½ by 5¼ So we're actually going to go, this is 5½. We want to make this 5¼ So we're going to bring our edge to the 5¼ inch mark here. Here's our score, which is running parallel to where we're going to cut. So what we're doing is we're cutting so that we have just 1 inch on the front here. Now, if you want to go the other direction and cut, then your cut would be at 3¼ inches. Oops, sorry. Yeah, right here. If we're cutting here, it's going to be 3¼ inches. Okay, and that will allow you to remove this much of the front. So if you're thinking ahead and you're mass producing, what you really want to do with that sheet is either cut off 3¼ inches or cut off at 5¼ inches. And because my measurements are at the 5¼ inch mark, I'm just going to go with that right now. So we're going to cut, then we're going to score at 4¼ and then we're going to rotate and cut in half at 5½. So now we easily have a couple card bases. We have another one here. Again, I want to keep this one as is because I want to show you something with it. So we'll set those off to the side for a minute here. Let's bring in the designer paper. So let's take the green one here because green's my favorite color. And your 12-inch cardstock, or designer paper, sorry, let me just bring a full sheet in. Your designer paper is 12 by 12. So what you have here is the ability to divide. 12 is like the perfect number. When I was a teacher, I used to think, wouldn't it be awesome if we had just 12 kids in a room? 12 kids to each teacher is ideal. You can divide the kids into learning groups. You can have, half and half. You can have groups of 3, groups of 4. You can partner them up. And you can really, I'm sorry, I'm getting off on my tangent here, but you can really cater to each kid so much better. So there, that's my magic number. I love the number 12. But because 12 is divisible by so many things, you can actually trim at 4 inches and then again at 4 inches, and you can divide this sheet into 3 sections, which I've already done here. I cut off a section that is 4 inches. We're going to do that again, just so you can see. And you can get then how many card layers from a sheet. You can get 6 because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So let's go ahead and just take this whole stack. Normally I wouldn't say, cut through 4 sheets of designer paper at once. It's probably harder on your blades, but I'm going to do it. All right, so we've got that, and then we're going to cut in the opposite direction. Now, if you're doing a card front, thanks, Nancy. If you're doing a card front and you want to have just a layer that is framed in, then I would say cut in this direction at 5 1/4 inches. Because this is 5 1/2, you want to go 1/4 back, which is 5 1/4, because that's what you did in this direction. It's 4 1/4, go 1/4 back, that's 4 inches. But we're not going to do that. We're going to make this layer go up and down the whole way. So we're going to cut at 5 1/2 inches, slicing through all of them at once. Okay, muscle. There we go, we did it. So we have all of our layers for our cards that we want ready to go. And this way, your layer could go onto your card like this. But, and I'll move this so you can really see well, but if we make a card like that and we open it up, it's boring on the inside. Oh, so boring, right? I mean, you've got your white piece of paper maybe in there, or you could put like a little, punched out penguin. But I want to see that designer paper when I open it up. So that's why we've trimmed off that edge. Again, let's just cut here at 3 1/4 inches. So we've removed that section. And now we've got enough to hold on to that paper, but we also have, oops, I'm going to shift that up here. It's sticking to my hands for some reason. Okay, but we've also got, if you open it up this way, the ability to see pretty paper on the inside. So that is a great way to create cards, okay? Show off both sides. So let's start with the green one. Now, instead of having this go on the front like this, we actually want to show off some new ribbon. So now let me bring in some other new products. So I've already introduced you to the punch, the stamp set, and the paper. Let me introduce you to a couple other things that we're going to have coming up. There's so much more here too. I should just bring it all out at the end of the video. We have this beautiful ribbon. Do you recognize it? It is similar to our black glittered organdy ribbon. We now have white glittered organdy ribbon, or we will have in 13 days. And the nice thing about white ribbons is that you can color coordinate them with your products, or projects I should say, using blends markers. So if you don't know that trick yet, I'll demonstrate that today. It's a nice beginner tip too. So those of you who can't afford to buy it all, get white ribbon and a couple blends, because the blends can be used, as you saw last week, with alcohol ink art, and it can be used to color in images. They're really a great versatile product and a great ink to use. So that's our white glittered organdy ribbon. Really, really fun. And then we've got, we're going to use an image from the Heartfelt Wishes Stamp Set on one of our cards today. And the Heartfelt Wishes Stamp Set, as you can see, has some holiday stuff in it, but it's also got like a thank you, a sending love. It's got the outside images and the inside. So I love sentiment sets like that so that you can just complete a card real quickly with one stamp set. Super awesome. We're also going to bring in some punches today, so I might as well introduce those to you too. So let's look at some of them. This is the Oval Builder, I think it's called the Oval Builder Punch. Layering Oval? Layering over, well, let me look at my sheet here. It's called the Layering Oval Punch, and I wrote dies. Oh my gosh, I might have that product wrong. I might have it wrong on the supply list. I'll have to end the video quickly so that I can fix that. It's not the dies. This is the Oval something punch. Anyways, you guys will shout it out to me and I'll catch it, right? But you can punch your inside and your outside layer with just one punch. You can also invest in punches like this. This is the Heart Punch Pack. So the Heart Punch Pack, you can see reflection through the top, they come together. It's a little more pricey this way, but you have some nice solid big hearts. And you've got the inside and the outside. And then we've got punches. Who said that? Yes, Peggy, I'm live. I'm glad that you joined. And then we have punches like this that easily can layer themselves. And I'll show you how to do that if you're not knowledgeable about that. Here we go. Let's bring in our, oh, we got to cut our white. We got to cut our white. Our white is going to be cut the same size as our designer paper. So let's just take one of these sheets real quickly, cut it to 4 inches. Because remember, that's the width of our designer paper. Cut this one to 4 inches. Because I think we're going to be able to whip through 4 cards today. We'll stack them together. Again, this is thinner than regular cardstock. It's our regular Whisper White. I'm going to cut it 5.5 inches, and I'm cutting them together. Shh, don't tell anyone. There we go. That was quick. I like using up my blades because then I can buy more. I know, I'm weird. I like to buy my products. Okay, we need our seal adhesive. Here it is. So we're going to grab our seal. Now, if you aren't a fan of seal, the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue is a great adhesive to use too. The issue with the seal is a lot of people are finding it's hard to catch. What I do is I just run it the whole length, and usually it starts coming out towards the bottom. You can see it's sticky down here, but I'm missing some up here. So then you can either turn it around and catch it where you left off, and you can continue on. If it stops again, what you can do is you can run your finger along here. You can take, and some people use the silicone sheet to catch it on. I find that I forget that how far I need to do it, and it starts wrapping up inside there and it becomes a mess. So I just use my finger to rotate it and get it to go. All right, so then we're going to add this to the inside of our card, and we're going to center it so that we have 1/8 of an inch of black showing here and 1/8 of an inch of black showing on the opposite side. If you have some white sticking out like I do here, a long bladed scissors is an excellent tool to also keep in your craft room for cutting when you have to cut along a long straight length like that. This piece is going to go on top of here, and before we add it, again, I'm just going to run the adhesive along here. Before we add it, we're going to line up the paper. So I've got it turned upside down right now. My whole card is actually going to go this way, but I've turned it upside down so that I can use my left hand because I am a right-handed person. I'm going to use my left hand to hold it still, make sure it's lined up with the top and bottom edges of the card, and then I'm going to fold this down, hold it steady, and press. Okay, so now we have this. Oh, and I did it the wrong way. Okay, I was not going to do it that way. We're going to try to lift this up. If you can make mistakes like Rachel once in a while, then it just helps her to know that she's human too, right? Okay, we're going to do this. Let's see if we can catch it before it completely seals on there. We might have to remove some adhesive from the back, but you can see I put it on the white, so it's mostly sticking to my white cardstock. Oh yeah, okay, well, we might have to throw this one away. Let's do that. We'll get another black. Because I want to show you something, so I can't change it up or it's going to mess up everything. go back to the black paper that we had. Here it is. We'll grab another one. That's for doing the one that I'm going to demonstrate later. Yeah. That's where you want to put the adhesive later. Okay, we're going to bring in the bone folder. Because it's sticky, I might not be able to curve it back. It's good enough. Lay it down. Rachel, it's okay. Okay, now we're going to come back. And this time we're going to lay it inside the card. That's what you wanted to do. Yes. We're running our adhesive here on the inside instead, and we're laying our designer paper here. And because I have a little bit of sticky on there, I have to make sure I grab my adhesive eraser. You can get those at like the dollar store. Stampin' Up! Used to sell them, but we no longer carry them, but I hear that they are really easy to find. And we'll just clean that up. So there. Okay, we needed to do it this way because the ribbon is next, and the ribbon is like going to be so fun to do. You have to see this ribbon ad. The glittered organdy ribbons, the black and the white, have glitter. There is a right side and a wrong side, but it's hard to tell. The wrong side, the glitter is actually, like you can see, it's a little bit more opaque. Is that what it is? I mean, when it's a little smokier. When it's on this side, you can see the whole front of the glitter a lot more than you can on this side. At least, I mean, that's what I can tell. So we're going to flip it over. And for me, on this roll at least, it feels like the glitter is more sparkly on the side that curves outward like this. So we're going to flip it over this way. And we're going to take our Just Jade. And you know what? I'm doubting myself right now as I'm saying that because I don't have my reading glasses on. I could grab them and really make sure, but I swear I've seen that before. But you can see I'm just taking my blends marker and I'm running it along the underside of the ribbon. I've got some grid paper underneath, and that is allowing me to catch any color that soaks through because it will soak through. This is a sheer kind of ribbon. I'm also using my marker on its side so that I don't mess up the end. Now, by coloring on the back side of a ribbon, if it has some kind of friction to it like this glitter does, you're keeping the marker intact a lot longer, because anytime you color something with friction or sharpness to it, it's going to do some damage to the tip of your blends marker. So what I've got here is some Just Jade ribbon now, some Just Jade Glittered Organdy ribbon. We're going to let that dry for just a second. Sometimes the ribbon will stiffen up a bit, but that's okay. You can just manipulate it and move it, and it'll soften back up after you've colored it. When you are opening blends markers, you want to make sure that you're holding them so that the cap comes straight off this way. You don't want to pull it like this because you can sometimes risk hitting the tip. And when you cap it, make sure it's capped on straight too. You've got these two little grippy things on the side. There's little nubs there that help for your thumb to grab onto. Also make sure that it's capped all the way because if you don't, then you can risk having your marker dry out overnight, like super quickly. You've got a bullet tip on one side and you've got the brush tip on the other side. The brush tip comes to a finer point. I tend to use that one the most because I can color on the side, I can color on the point. Again, be careful with the point, but the bullet tip is great for getting into some kind of the like tinier but not super tiny spaces. All right, Blends Marker 101. You can go back into some of my past videos. You can see some ideas on how to use blends in other ways. These are the other colors I used. I used the dark Fresh Freesia and I used the dark Balmy Blue. So Just Jade, Balmy Blue, Fresh Freesia, and I got all three of these colors. And then of course you got your black Glittered Organdy ribbon. You've got your white. I mean, look at that. With white, you can really have a collection of fun colors. It's so fun. I'm just excited. I am a white Glittered Organdy fan now. It replaced, remember you guys, I don't know how long you've been watching, but that white metallic edge ribbon. Oh, that was such a favorite for so long for me. And then they retired it. And then I went through mourning. I actually had a funeral. We had services. I'm kidding. but I was so sad about it. Okay, so we're going to tie it in a knot. Knots are easier than bows. So just tie it in a knot, and it still looks super pretty, especially if you can make the little ends here kind of flare out in different directions. It looks fuller. And if you don't glue dot or glue the back down when you tie your ribbon, if you can manage that, you can take and bend your card just a little bit, and you can shift your ribbon up and down to make it go where you want it to go. Then we'll take our scissors, and I've already set aside some scissors of mine that are just for cutting fabric, ribbon, that sort of thing. That way it stays sharp, because paper can dull your scissors. So I have a couple of these snips, and one is for paper and one is for my ribbons. And you're just going to cut, and I like to cut at angles. And that is so far what the card looks like. Now let's bring in our scraps of white. So we'll just grab this scrap, and I've already punched the inside oval piece with the black using this punch, but we need to stamp and punch this one. We're going to bring in an image that says, "You're so cool," which is perfect for this. Now I'm not using the Penguin Place stamp set yet, but it's a perfect little sentiment for this paper. So if you can't get the stamp set and the penguin punch yet, but you have this and you're going to earn the paper for free, maybe you already have this stamp set that has been around for a while, because summer can meet winter with this stamp set. You've got a few sayings in here that are totally perfect for winter. You melt my heart, you're so cool. Well, maybe not 3. There's 2, but then the rest of them would work too. Happy birthday, thank you. Sprinkles on top. You could cross it out and say snowballs on top. So I just love that this stamp set has a couple images, sentiment images that would work. And when you're doing this type of oval punch here, do it on a strip so that you're not wasting the white that's up here, because it's going to punch out the upper section of your white cardstock too. So if you do it on a strip, you're not going to waste your cardstock, if that makes sense. Let's layer these two up together with some seal adhesive. That goes there. We're going to take and turn it over, and we're going to put a couple dimensionals on the back side. You could put 1 if you really want to, but 2 will balance it out pretty well. This will go on the front of our card, and then you just have to decide where it's going to go. So if you look at this card, I don't know, do we cover up the fox? Do we cover up the plain penguin? I think I'm going to cover up the fox. Sorry, little fox. There we go. And then I'm going to bring in some embellishments. Now these embellishments are called blue adhesive backed gems, and they are bluish, but they're also, as you can see, lots of other colors. The one on the left, or the half on the left, looks more on the greenish navy side. You've got some purplish colors in there, and then on the one on the right is more like pinkish and light purple and that light blue, balmy blue kind of color. We're going to take a small one. You know what? I'm going to show you this too. This is an awesome tool, but you don't need it. But there's a sticky end on the take your pick. So if you're a beginner crafter, you don't really need this, but it's one of those luxury items. Oops, I put in the wrong one. It's one of those luxury items that it's kind of like the Stampin' Mist and the Stampin' Scrub. If you invest in them, it's great, because then you can clean off your stamps real quickly and easily. If not, you can just use like a terry cloth, washcloth, and it'll help clean off your stamps. Or you can use like unscented, really clean baby wipes, or you can use just a damp paper towel for regular inks. So we've stuck that onto the O for You're So Cool, and that is that completed card. Then I've got another one that we're going to do quickly. Now that we've gone through all those steps, we're going to whip through this one. I forgot to use my bone folder last time. Let's grab the purple paper. And that one is, where did I put my cut ones? There it is. Okay, so that one's here, and then we need our white. I have things in all different directions, you guys. Where did my white go? Oh, it's under the stamp set. Okay, so this will go next. Woo, it's flying. This one again is going to go inside here lined up so that we have 1/8 of an inch on the two sides, like that. Ooh, I'm really close to the camera, aren't I? Let's grab our long bladed scissors. Let's trim off that excess. Is that the one I used? Yeah, okay, sorry. Just checking. I'm shoving things off to the sides and they're all kind of piling up wherever. This one again is going to be done the same way, where we're going to line it up like that. We're going to put our adhesive here. So let's say you need a bunch of birthday cards or you need a bunch of Christmas cards. This is going to be a perfect solution for those of you who need them for the winter. Or let's say you're in the South Hemisphere. This paper is perfect now, right? Okay, let's grab our pink, our fresh freesia, and we're going to tie it in a knot. At any one given time, there's 2 opposite seasons going on in the world. Isn't that crazy? Spring on the northern hemisphere is fall on the southern. It's just amazing how the world works. Okay, so we've adjusted our ribbon. We're going to take our heart punch now. We're grabbing a scrap of cardstock. This is our basic white again. This time we're going to use the heart punch pack. I've already punched out the one that is larger, so I've got that one ready to go. We're going to punch this one, but we're going to do it first. And the reason why is because we're using photopolymer stamps. That means they're totally see-through, so it's okay that we punch first and then stamp, because we can line it up. Let's grab that black ink. Ink up our You Melt My Heart. Perfect for the heart punch, right? Punch that down. And we'll adhere the seal adhesive to the back side. Pop this up on dimensionals. This one's going faster, isn't it? I'm doing 3 on this one because it's a larger punched piece. Gosh, on this card we could have our bear kind of holding it. That's super cute, right? So we'll make our polar bear hold it, and we're going to bring in a different embellishment. This embellishment is called Opal Rounds, and they appeared in last mini catalog as an embellishment that went with the seashells suite. But don't they look like snowballs? They do, Rachel. Okay, so we're going to grab, oh, I think I'm going to use the other end of the Take Your Pick tool because I'm not smushing this one very well to pick it up. So you could either put snowballs in his hands, you could put them in the penguin's hands, or you could even use it as, because the heart is white, we could even use it as kind of like a shine. Like there's a shine on the heart. Fun, right? All right, that one's done. Let's move on to our third one. And that one's going to be using the blue, the blue paper. Did you guys see my hands? I was going like this. Where is my paper? Here it is. And that one's going to go here. And you know what? No, we're going to go ahead and do it. We'll go ahead and do it. I was going to move ahead to the next one, but I think we're good. I think we're good. So this one, same thing. No, you know what? I am going to move ahead to the next one. We're going to stamp that in there, but I'm going to show you the finished one for this one because I want to do something different next. So for this next one, I took this piece, I used another heart, and I actually did punch out the inside heart first, but you don't have to. This is the case where we have a stamp set from the stamp from the Heartfelt Wishes set. This is not photopolymer. This is cling mount. So you have rubber that you can't see through. Okay, so we're going to grab that ink and we're going to stamp it first, and then we will punch. This is what I recommend when you have cling mount or the red rubber kinds of stamps. So then you can line it up, and you can make sure it's lined, and then you punch. You turn your punches upside down to do that. So that's the tip that I have for the blue card. That's where we'd use the blue, balmy blue ribbon. And this is what I did with this one. I gave him a blue snowball. So I used the blue adhesive back gems, and he has a blue snowball up in his hand. Super fun, super cute, right? Okay, the next one, so we'll bring this back in. This time we're going to put our purple paper on, and we're going to line it up like I showed you the first time. So we're going to line it up upside down so that this edge is here, this edge is here, the top and bottom edges of our card are lined up there. We're going to put adhesive down. We're going to fold this flat, bring this on top, and connect. Let's bring in the tailored tag punch. Sorry, just cleaning up my desk here. The tailored tag punch. We'll grab a slightly larger scrap. We're going to stamp first. Oh, you know what? It's photopolymer. Let's punch first. And how many of you have been screaming at me, get your pierce mat out? This is a luxury item. It's not necessary, but it's nice because it will make especially solid colored images like, oh gosh, there's a tree in the last paper pumpkin kit that just arrived. And that one you definitely want to have a nice firm surface under so that you don't have any parts of the images that don't show. So we'll ink this up with our black, our tuxedo black. This is our thank you. It looks like it's not going to fit, but it will. In fact, it fits almost kind of perfectly in that spot. So there's that. We're going to pull this away. We're going to grab a scrap of black. We're going to punch again with the tailored tag punch. Now this is the one where I said this is the kind of punch that you could layer by itself. What did I mean by that? You grab your trimmer, or you grab your snips, or you grab your long bladed scissors and you cut the thing in half. Then you take this, turn it over, you put your adhesive along the back side, you line up, and I'll zoom in so you can see better, you line up this bottom edge with that edge, making sure that nothing shows on the sides, here and here. Flip it over, then you do the same thing. Make sure that it's spaced about the same amount as you did on the top, and now you have a layered punched piece. So some of our punches easily will do that when cut in half like that. Dimensionals again, keep losing them. Here they are. So we'll put dimensionals on the back side. I'm doing a Nancy Forsberg right now, or a Bruno Bertucci. I guess those guys love to use their dimensionals. And this can go right on the front. I think, okay, we're gonna cover up the little penguin guy. So we're putting that down here. You have to pick one of them. I mean, you're gonna cover up something, right? So we'll put that there. Now I've centered this one. I've centered it so that I have the same amount of space almost on the sides, the two sides here, but that's okay because we are coming in with the black organdy ribbon and it's gonna go across the paper. So you're still seeing the paper as the edge that, you know, creates that edge-to-edge look. This is still considered in the middle when you have it like that. If we were to take and move this over, I think it would look more off balance. So let's tie in a knot. Again, knots are super easy, right? All right, and then we'll trim. And then you can come in with embellishments that look like that. So you can just use your embellishments kind of like you would rhinestones or pearls, just kind of putting them here and there just for a bit of sparkle so that when you turn your card you can see that. Not that you don't have enough sparkle on the side, right? But yeah. Okay, so let's move this one aside because it's not completely done. We'll bring these over here. You don't see what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm talking like that. Okay, and then if you want to save on ribbon, you can totally take and just put your card layer on the front like that. On the inside, you can still see the designer paper just like you can on all of these that we've done, which I keep forgetting to open for you. Sorry. So there's the insides of the ones that we've done, right? I have some finished ones too. So this one, I stamped that fun little message. It's like a little except a lot. Thank you, a lottle. And I showed the full side of the piece here. Instead of having ribbon along the side, I just tied it in a knot and stuck it underneath with a glue dot. So you just take and put a little glue dot there and stick that down. Glue dots are not wet glue. For those of you that are beginners, they come in a roll. You just take and pull one off of there, stick it down, and then put your knotted ribbon right on top of it. So there you go. Isn't that fun? All right, let me show you a couple other cards. This one was gifted to me recently by Vitran. She is a demonstrator in my group. Very, very talented gal. I don't remember if, oh no, okay. This wasn't the card that she did in a blog hop recently, but she may have it on her blog. But this is another example of a card where you've got that same style. You've got that piece. And she actually made a full piece, so it went all the way across here and had it shifted so that you've got 1/4 of an inch here. So she's still doing the paper saving technique here, but she did bring it all the way to this edge so that she doesn't have that green edge showing like I was doing on my card. Different options. You can do different things. What else? So there's a few cards here coming up that I made last month that I will put on my blog in a few days. I'm working on Paper Pumpkin first though. So here's another one. And this one here allows you to show off the Expressions in Ink designer paper, and it's got the Artistry Blooms sequins on here. So again, you melt my heart, and I use the images inside that stamp set, so the popsicle images, to do a dripping popsicle with just another piece of sequin there. So I'll have photos and measurements and supply lists for these cards in a few days. Very similar styles. This one I took the ribbon and I tucked it underneath between these two layers. So on the inside you don't see the ribbon, but it's a very thick kind of ribbon, so it would have made for mailing a lot harder. On the inside you don't see the ribbon, but you see the beautiful designer paper that again is on unorderable status. We missed this paper again. These are images from the coordinating stamp set from that suite. I put some champagne rhinestones in the middle to make it look like the inside of the flowers got kind of a little, I don't know, whatever the inside of the flower is called. And here's the gold foil with a little thanks word from that set. Here is more from mostly that suite as well, using the oval punch that we just did, some gilded gems, which are the gold ones, die cut piece from the same suite. This is the soft succulent ribbon, which is a color that you can kind of see coming through here. And instead, I wrapped it all the way around and tied it on the inside. So you can have bows on the insides of your cards, or knots. And there is another idea. Let's bring these back in, show them off, give you ideas here. We'll put the ones that are the same next to each other. How does that sound? So these green ones can go here. These purple ones can go here. And my head is in the way. All right. So there's the fun cards we made today. They whip out super fast, you guys. I made 4 of them today in very little time, and I talked and I taught during it. So if you're not talking, you're not paying attention to anybody else, you can really probably do twice as many cards super fast. And if you've got an assembly line going, you can crank out your easy peasy cards super fast. Fun cards that people are going to love when they get. Okay. Did I do something wrong? I'm trying to look. I see some comments here. No, the paper on the cards. Oh, okay. There was a question that someone's asking Trisha. I saw a message come through from Trisha. It was like one of those notifications that drops down on your iPad when you're on your iPad, and it said something from her, and I'm like, uh-oh, is something wrong? So I didn't read the whole thing. Hopefully not. Let's bring out prizes. Oh, gosh, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I did. I had fun. So we have a winner from last week's After Live commenters, and that winner gets to choose 3 of these blends markers. These are fairly in new condition. Like, I buy so many that sometimes I forget what colors I have, or I buy a pack needing the one from the other. So I tend to go through my light ones faster than I go through my dark ones, but the dark ones are perfect for the alcohol ink art. So we have a winner. I'm going to pull that name up on my computer, bring you over to my computer screen, and the winner is Randy Malone. Congratulations to Randy. Reach out to me. My email is stampyourartout@comcast.net, and then you can claim which ones you want. You can just say brown, green, yellow, orange, whatever that color is. Or you can call them by their actual names. And let's see. We have Soft Suede, Old Olive, Daffodil Delight, and Calypso Coral. Okay, back to the desktop here. Let me show you the prizes for this time. So the prizes for this time, and I don't have them in front of me, but it's a pack of dimensionals and a pack of the oh so popular in color jewels. So these colors would go well on cards like this. So let's see who we have for the winners. Trisha's going to call out our winners' names in just a second here. And I'm going to pull this away in case she's already done that. Peeking through here. Okay, and I'm going to take this off of here. And we're going to bring that down. I think I've covered it all. I'm looking on my sheet here. I think that's it. So next week I am going to join you again. Yay. I hope that you join me. I go back and forth, don't I? Sometimes I do fun fold cards. Sometimes I do techniques. Sometimes I do hard cards. Sometimes I do easy peasy ones for those of you that are beginning crafters. But I hope you all gain some tips and ideas from whatever I share. I'm going to click away here. And let's see who Trisha has drawn. Maybe she already picked them. I better go back here. I'm going to scroll. Not yet. Okay. Oh, did I? Yeah, I told you what the prizes were. Maybe we're just behind on time. I don't know. We're not timing it right, Trisha. Next week, I do not know what I have planned, but I've got some fun folds that are sitting off to the side of my room. One of them I just received in the mail yesterday, and I was like blown. My mind was blown. I'm like, oh, that is so cool. I might have to share that. And then there was another one that I got as a gift from a team member. A magic kind of slider card. I might have to show that too. So I've got some fun ideas. Maybe, I don't know, maybe something's going wrong. Trisha, will you tag me and let me know if you're having issues with picking the winner this time? Oh, there it is. It popped up. Okay, our winner is Suzanne Bensley and Shirley Banda. Congratulations to Suzanne and Shirley. Again, you'll want to reach out to me at my email address to claim your prize by letting me know your address. If you live outside the US, I can't send you product, but I could send you a tutorial via email. So congratulations, yes, to Shirley and Suzanne. And I know Suzanne Bensley personally, so, well, not personally, but she's in my group of Stampers with Art Stars. So that's why I'm not using her Clara part of her name, because I know she likes to be called Suzanne. So come back and visit me next week on Wednesday, July 28th at 11 a.m. Central Time on YouTube. If you do not get notifications from it, you'll want to make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Those notifications come through on my own personal email. So when I'm going live, I actually get an email to my email inbox saying Rachel Tessman is live, and it's like right after the 11 o'clock hour. So I think it does work, if you're wondering. So check that out. Also, give me the thumbs up if you would be so inclined. I love to know that if you like this video or not. And I think that's it. If you like any of these products, again, some of them you'll need to wait until August 3rd to get, but a lot of them you can get now. I'm going to end this video so that I can go back and correct my mistake. If you like the PDF that had the measurements and the supply list in it, you'll be able to access it from my blog post, which you can get a hold of in about 20 minutes. At 12:15, my blog post will go live, and you'll be able to see photos, close-up photos of these cards. You'll be able to see the supply list, which is clickable to my online store. You'll be able to access the measurements and this video and more. Thank you, everybody. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.